Hi guys, Darth Deuce is here, back with another Star Wars The Vintage Collection action figure review. Today, taking a look at a relatively recent release. This is the A New Hope version of Princess Leia. And this is a figure I was definitely interested in getting, but it wasn't one I prioritized too heavily. I didn't pre-order it or anything, because I definitely figured it wasn't going to be that hard to get. And I have seen it on the shelves and whatnot a fair amount already. But you're not. I haven't gone over, and I'm not going to go over the card back because I actually don't have it because I got this figure loose. My local comic book store had this figure loose complete for $10 Canadian, which is like I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm not pretty. I am sure it's over 50% cheaper than normal retail price. And considering I was just gonna open the figure anyways, for not having the packaging, saving that much money on a TVC figure is great. That's what the old price was 10 years ago or so. Actually, more than 10 years ago. But it's a figure that I didn't really want to spend full price on, so I got it for a price that was much more agreeable to me. So that's good, but it also results in me not covering the card back, but it is what it is. So we'll just get right into the figure itself. But yeah, this is Leia's iconic um, outfit and look from A New Hope. I would say it's probably her most iconic look in the entire series. I would say is a pretty safe thing to say. And I think it's pretty good. I think look wise, it's probably the best definitive Princess Leia, A New Hope Princess Leia in 3 3/4 inch. In other areas, not so much. And whether that stuff bothers you or not is kind of come down to person. This figure, its design definitely favors look over function. But anyways, first off, taking a look at the head sculpt and the face print, I think it looks pretty good. Um, I don't know if I would say it's absolutely 1-to-1, but I think it's pretty good. The printing's clean, the hair sculpt is nice, sculpt of the head in general I think is pretty good, and I do like it. The rest of the figure, there's not really a ton to talk about, but it's just the sculpted white gown that she wears throughout the movie. You do have the hood that's kind of sculpted to be folded back, and the sleeves. The belt is there painted with some silver, which looks nice. And obviously one of the main features you'll see is that the lower gown, dress or whatever, is all sculpted plastic. It is a softer, pliable material, but they only cut it up so high, around below the knee. And this does limit a lot of articulation. You're really not going to get a ton of movement out of the legs. She does have the full modern articulation under the legs. She just has like white legs with these sculpted boots, which look nice. But because there's not enough of a cut to allow for more articulation and it's not soft goods, you can't really get a ton of posability out of the legs. Now, for me, it doesn't really bother me with this design. She's standing around most of the time anyways. I know there was a few action sequences, but for the most part, she's standing around. On the shelf, I'd probably just have her standing around. So in my case, I do prefer that they went with the plastic just to give her a much nicer look. If this was soft goods, it wouldn't combine very well look-wise with the plastic of the upper body. And yeah, I do prefer personally that they went with plastic. Some people might not like that, and that's fine. But I personally do like that. And if you just want a really good-looking A New Hope Leia, then I think you'll like that too. But speaking of articulation, you do have dumbbell joint in the neck, so you get a decent amount of movement, nothing too crazy. Single hinges at the elbows that move pretty good because there's nothing really hindering them. Single hinges at the elbows, they do bend past 90, and she only has swivel wrists. I kind of get it because of the way how small the wrists are and the size of the arms and whatnot would probably be pretty hard to make hinges for the wrists, so that doesn't really bother me. There's a ball joint at the waist. You get rotation, but there's not really a ton of up and down or pivoting movement. Then the legs, I do believe there is the new style hip joints, the knee hinges, the ankle hinges, and then there is rockers. But like I said, with this plastic dress, you can't get a lot of leg articulation. So, like I said, if it's something that bugs you, totally fair. But for me, I do prefer they went this route just for the look. In terms of accessories, so he comes with a decent amount of stuff actually. You get 2 blasters. You get the Stormtrooper blaster, of course, that she uses in the Death Star. Has a little bit of silver paint. And, looks good. She can hold it pretty well. And the left hand is kind of sculpted to be the supporting hand to hold on to this. So you can get, decent posing out of that. That looks good. But what I will probably display her with is the pistol she has at the very beginning of the movie. The one with the thin, long barrel. She also can hold that pretty well, just getting the trigger finger in there, and that looks really good too. So yeah, that's nice. And surprisingly, the pistol is made of a pretty sturdy material. It's not so overly soft or rubbery, which I do like. And then lastly, you can actually give her the hooded look. So you can actually unpeg this piece from the back, and then you get the hooded portion, and you can just clip that around her head and get that. It's really weird. She's wearing a hood only halfway over her head, but it does look pretty decent. It's been a while since I watched A New Hope, but I think it's pretty close to how it looks in the movie. And it's definitely a lot more effective than a soft good hood would have been. So I do like that. Probably not going to display her like this. Probably just going to display her with the one just draped down. But it's nice that you get the option. I guess lastly, just do some quick comparisons. I don't really have any other Leias to compare with. I don't have any other New Hope Leias, and the only other Leias I have aren't really worth comparing because they're different looks for and they're not that good. But just so you get maybe a sense of scale, here she is with a Stormtrooper mold. And you can see she is significantly shorter, but I think that's supposed to be pretty accurate. I don't think Carrie Fisher, especially at the time the movie, was that tall. And then here she is with Darth Vader. I don't have A New Hope one, but as far as I know, that figure is almost exactly the same as the Dark Times one, just with a different torso piece. And you can see there the scaling, which I think is also pretty correct if I'm remembering correctly when they're shooting Alderaan. Then he's behind her. I think this is a pretty accurate scaling, so that's good. Overall, I think it's a pretty cool figure. Maybe not the most exciting release ever, depending on what you like for your collection. I think it is, though, and at least in terms of look, it is the definitive 3 3/4 inch Princess Leia. So if you're looking for one to add to your the collection, then I think I definitely recommend this one. I would say you could probably hold out for a sale. I don't see these flying off the shelves, so you could probably hold out for a sale, and I'd maybe recommend that unless you absolutely have to have this version in your collection. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'll see you all in the next video. May the Force be with you.